There we are, once again, and we are reading through the Bible, through the book Laat My Lammers Wei. If you got it, Liam, Laat My Lammers Wei. You have it, okay. And we go through the main events in the Bible with this book. And it's basically a summary of sorts, but we get the background of each part of the Bible. And we're already in chapter 33. So from where we started in Genesis, creation, all the way up to the kings of Israel. You know, we started with Saul and David and his son Solomon, and then all those strange names. Israel that split. Now we read about Elijah, God's prophet. God spoke to his people through this prophet Elijah, and everything that he did. Also that he was a wanted man. Jezebel, the king's wife, wanted him killed. She had her own prophets. How many were there? 450 prophets or something. And she had her own temple for Baal, the god Baal. And then, remember, Elijah challenged them to a fire making or a fire an offering where fire needed to come from the gods. That was what was requested. And eventually God brought fire onto his offering, but the Baal prophets, they spent a whole day praying to their god Baal, but nothing happened. And then Elijah prayed and God brought down fire. It burnt even the stones and the water. He drenched everything in water and everything was just burnt up. So anyway, so that was Elijah, and then he appointed Elisha. And we read further the story of the prophet Elisha, who took over Elijah's job, basically, as God's prophet. So God appointed through Elijah, he appointed Elisha. He performed many miracles that is also written down in the Bible. Remember, Elijah was taken up into heaven alive. So after he was taken up alive in heaven, Elisha turned to the Jordan River, after that event, and he took Elijah's cloak and he hit the water of the Jordan River with a cloak. And what happened? The water parted, and he was able to walk through or across through the river on dry ground. Then, next to the Jordan River was the city Jericho. And he performed his first miracle in Jericho by healing a spring of bad water. So it was a spring that produced bad water. So that they could use the water to water their plants. They could not do it before, and Elijah was able to do that. Something bad happened at this time. As Elisha walked, on his way to Bethel, some children mocked Elisha. It was very bad mocking. And he cursed them in the name of the Lord. And as he did that, something very bad happened. 2 bears, the bear came from the mountain and it killed these kids. We don't know how many, but it was something terrible. Well, the kings of Israel, there was Joram in the north, and Judah. And Judah's king was Jehoshaphat. And they teamed up with Edom to fight against the king of Moab. And while they were marching through the desert, their armies ran out of water. And Elisha told them that even though they wouldn't see wind or rain, God would fill the trenches with water. And the next morning, the water arrived. And the Moabites were tricked into thinking that this water that came down the trenches was blood from a civil war. And because remember, the Israelites and all those were that side, and Moab on this side. And when the water came through the trenches, it looked like blood for them. They thought they were killing each other. And then the Israelites jumped out and chased them out of the land. Elisha also performed several miracles to help people in need. There's the story of the widow's oil, where she was in need. Her son was going to be sold because she owed a lot of money and to many people, and he was going to be sold as a slave. But he quickly gave her advice to take what she had, a little jar of oil, tiny bit of oil, and she must go out and find as many canisters as she could find, bring it all in her home, and fill all of those with that tiny jar. She filled all of them, and when she was finished with the last big jar that she had in the house, the oil in the small jar also was finished. She was able to sell that and pay all her debts, etc. There was a Shunammite woman, a very kind woman, who built a room for Elisha. And he promised that she would have a son. She didn't have a son. She was all on her own. And then later she got the son, and later when the boy was a bit bigger, he suddenly died from an illness. And Elisha prayed over him, and God brought the boy back to life. So another miracle. During a famine in the country, Elisha used flour to make a pot of poisonous stew for his people. And it was safe for them to eat, but nobody else. So anybody else who came there and wanted to steal their food, they would die from the poison. A famous Syrian general named Naaman, you must remember this name, it's important. He came all the way to Israel, to Elisha. He had leprosy, and he came to Elisha for help. Elisha told him to wash in the Jordan River, but he must wash 7 times, in and out 7 times. Naaman was angry at first, but he obeyed and was completely healed. Elisha, now he wanted to pay him because he had a lot of money, but Elisha refused to take any gifts or money because it was God's miracle. However, he had a servant that's also a well-known name, Gehazi. He was a very greedy person, and when he took Naaman out on the road to say goodbye, he told him that actually Elisha changed his mind, and he wanted now money. And it wasn't true. So he took the silver and the clothes, the nice clothes and stuff, for himself. And Naaman then cursed Gehazi. And what happened? He got the leprosy from Naaman, or the leprosy that Naaman had, now jumped across onto him because he was cursed. When the king of Syria tried to capture Elisha in Dothan, God blinded the whole Syrian army. And Elisha showed his terrified servant that on our side there were horses and chariots of fire. that were protecting him, because he was very concerned, very worried. And Elisha told him, look, who's on our side. Later, when the Syrians surrounded the city of Samaria, causing a terrible famine, because now they were blocked, they couldn't get out of the city to get food. And Elisha predicted to them, don't worry, because tomorrow, this time, there will be more food in this city than anybody can eat, or that they can finish. How's that possible? The Syrian army was there. They blocked anybody who was going to go out, and where will they get food? And there was a famine. There's no food, nowhere. That night, God made the Syrians hear the sound of a giant army coming towards them, and they ran away. They fled. They thought, I suppose it was the sound of horses and chariots and trumpets and stuff. And they thought, this won't work. They ran. They left everything there. Their tents, their food, everything they left there, their animals. And the next morning, 4 lepers were walking, because they didn't worry about the army. They just walked anywhere they want because they were scared of them. They saw this whole camp with hundreds and thousands of tents and stuff just standing there. They first helped themselves to food, and then they went into the city and told everybody that there's nobody in the camp. So they all went there, and they found all the food and all the water and everything that was there. So what Elisha said was true. The next day they had more food than they could finish. Elisha followed God's instructions to change the leadership of nations. That was one of the things God wanted him to do. He went to Damascus and told Hazael he would become the next king of Syria. He also sent a messenger to anoint Jehu as the new king of Israel. Jehu then quickly killed King Joram of Israel and King Uzziah of Judah. He also oversaw the death of the wicked queen Jezebel. Remember Jezebel? She wanted Elijah killed. That same queen. That was fulfilling the prophecy that Ahab's family would be destroyed because of their sins. So all of those people that were killed by this king, Jehu. He went out and killed all those people who was supposed to be killed by God's command. Elisha served God for many years until he became very sick, and then King Joash of Israel visited him on his deathbed. And Elisha used a bow and arrow to symbolize a future victory over Syria. He could not even speak. He was very old. And even after Elisha died and was buried, God showed his power one last time when a dead man's body was accidentally thrown into Elisha's grave and touched Elisha's bones. The man came back to life. So even after Elisha's death, he performed a miracle. Well, that was Elisha. He was an interesting character. He did a lot of stuff that in the Bible, if we read his history, you read the detail of all the stuff we just quickly ran through. But you've got a few names that you need to remember, keep in the back of your minds. And of course, Elisha, the prophet of God. Okay, that's it. You must sleep tight. Remember, Opa and Oma love you too. And God willing, we'll go further on with chapter 34 tomorrow. Okay, take care. Love you too. Ciao, ciao.